Hey, what's that behind your back?
What? Nothing.
Dude, that's not nothing.
Yes, it is.
The bright yellow thing that looks like it has a black mohawk?
It's a piece of art.
It's a piece of art. Oh, yeah? Who's the artist?
Hoover?
Hoover? Hoover doesn't... What? They don't even make what that is, Matthew. They make vacuums.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, maybe it's Negri y Decker?
Negri, Black and Decker? Is that what you're saying? Dude, that's a broom.
It's not a broom. It's a piece of art.
Yeah, commentary art, political art, torture art. Okay, true or false? You brought the broom because there was going to be a sweep, you thought, right?
Yes.
Have you been walking around with that all day?
Maybe.
Did you go to work with that?
Possibly.
And you know you're going to have to go to work tomorrow, right? After everybody knows what happened?
Well, I'm the boss. I don't need to go to work tomorrow.
Wow. Brutal, dude. That's okay. Look, that's too much reality after what happened today.
I couldn't help it though, Ben. I was so looking forward to a sweep, and I will admit I had a little bit of doubt when I saw the lineup.
Well, but did you not see the lineup in the previous two games?
Yes, and I was like, hey, it happened the previous two games. It doesn't matter if the only person you recognize is Rafael Devers. We still have a shot because Logan Webb's on the mound.
Right, or as I like to call him, Rafael Daryl Strawberry Devers. That's an old Simpsons reference, folks. It's an old Simpsons reference.
Yes.
He's the only one left in the line. It's all-star. Mr. Burns hires all the... You know what? No, never. Forget it. The Simpsons is a cartoon. No, I forget it. The point is, this is your fault, Matthew.
I know. I'm sorry. I just got excited.
Oh. Well, I don't forgive you. Bob, hit it.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the humor is elite, but the baseball sucks. Oh yeah, here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
What do I do now?
You're supposed to welcome them and talk about our episode number.
Why are we still Welcome to episode 394 of Giant Cocktails. Matthew, John the Count Montefusco had a 3.94 ERA for the 1979 Giants. Those were the days, huh? The 70s?
That was when you expected the team to be bad.
Yeah. Anyway, he went 3-8 in 22 starts that year. Hey, that's 10 no decisions. 11 no decisions. We don't know that they lost all those games.
We don't. They probably did, though.
Yeah, because the Giants went 71-91 that year, which sadly kicks the shirt balls out of what the Giants are doing this year. Montefusco won the Rookie of the Year for the Giants in 1975 when he went 15-9 with a 2.88 ERA, but this isn't episode 288. He finished fourth in the Cy Young voting as a rookie that year. Who cares?
You're supposed to care.
I don't And that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you all next time.
Subscribe now while you're still drunk.
Thank you, Bob. Where's my comfort vodka? There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Bob, let's keep it moving. Let's just keep going.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Yeah, sure, that was banter. Yes, hit me.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you. Bob, today I'm drinking a cocktail that I'm calling Bitter Memory. Because the Giants are in the memory-making business. And I will tell you what's in a bitter memory. But I get those of you who've listened to the show long enough, you know what I put in here. Because I apparently need to torture myself even more after the Giants got finished doing it. But anyway, I'll give you the official recipe at the end of the show. But hang on. I realize I got to make one small adjustment. I'm just going to add an extra ounce of gin. Just, there. So that may or may not be in the recipe at the end of the show, but, account for it yourselves.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Matthew, there were... Yes, I just called Bob Matthew.
Yeah, you referred to somebody else as your own name. That's not usually how that works.
No, it's not. All right, let me try this again.
Yeah.
Bob, back in happier times, I thought that I would do a cocktail to commemorate the late, great Dolly Parton. So I'm drinking a cocktail that I'm calling the Dollyrita. Tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
Okay, just a quick question here. Did you
Yes.
just refer to the death of Dolly Parton as happier times? Is that what just happened?
Yes, here's what happened. And I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but
Yeah,
today's
yeah.
been a rough day.
I was like, you're not expecting me to edit that out of the show because there's no way I can do that,
No.
right? Like, the people have to hear that. Okay?
You might as well just keep the part where I called Bob Matthew. Just keep it all
Fair.
in.
The egotistical, arrogant, self-centered Matthew referred to the death of Dolly Parton as happier times because his baseball team lost.
When you say it like that, it sounds cold.
Folks, it's not cold. Like, Matthew's not a bad person. He's just, like, how Matthew is. He's a super huge optimist.
Oh.
And what just happened today was, like, I think Matthew would have rather been kicked in the testicles with full force.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. 3 or 4 times he would have let it happen if that's what it took.
I wanted the sweep so bad, Ben.
Yeah, let's spend the rest of the show talking about it. Anyway, today is Wednesday, August 26th, as we record this podcast. Folks, Dolly Parton died. And the Giants won a series for the first time since the All-Star break. I think it was the 8th series after they lost 7 in a row.
So we should be
Those two things-
celebrating is what you're saying.
Yeah, those two things aren't related. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I said we should be celebrating. Like, the Giants' record improved instead of getting worse for the first time in like 4 weeks. Which is a remarkable achievement. And we're going to talk about it. We're not going to let the ugly get in way of the mediocre. Okay? So we are going to celebrate mediocrity. We are going to call out a bunch of names of guys who are probably playing in their last and only season of Major League Baseball. Look, if there's no 2027, Matthew, that is going to be so many dudes.
So many.
So many dudes. And yeah, we're going to spend the whole episode just talking about the Red Series. And there were a lot of good things about the Red Series, including the fact that it was a series victory. And quite frankly, when you make it all the way to the 9th inning with a 6-run lead, that should count as a win anyway. So I'm going to call this a sweep. Matthew, I think this is the Giants' 30th sweep in a row.
Maybe. I also do want to fact check you a little bit. They won 2 series at the end of July. They beat the Brewers and the what series was that? And the Angels. So we won both of those series. And then after that, you are correct. No series wins.
So those were after the All-Star break is what you're saying?
They were, yes. It just feels that bad. I don't blame you. It just feels that bad.
Yeah, you know what? I don't care. I was wrong. Sue me. Just like Buster was wrong about the bullpen. Anyway, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Red Series. I think, okay, here's how this is going to go. We're going to talk about games 1 and 2 as segment 1. Okay?
Okay. All right.
We're going to celebrate the Whitcombs and the Furmans. I'll even let you all, we'll all celebrate Nate Furman's, first major league hit. Yeah. I think I've gone on record as saying that, that's a great accomplishment for him, no doubt, and his family, and I love it, and I love to see people happy. But otherwise, this is a meaningless thing. Okay? And am I an awful person for just pointing that out? If that's the reason I'm an awful person, then you don't listen to this show enough. But we'll celebrate it anyway, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to live in fantasy land in segment 1. And then in segment 2, well, I don't know, maybe segment 2, Matthew, should just be 1 half inning. Well, I guess 1 inning. So maybe segment 3 will be the first 2 games, and then game 3 all the way up to the 9th inning. And then segment 2 is just the 9th inning. But before we get to that, we have some tidbits. Matthew, once in a while, one of us makes a mistake on the show.
That's true. Usually you.
Yes. You calling Bob Matthew notwithstanding.
Exactly.
Yes. And very occasionally, we catch it. And very, very occasionally, we then correct it in a future episode. That is happening right now. Last week, a very intoxicated Ben kept talking about how Barracoto blew the double play at the end of the game, which would have ended the game, but instead allowed the Red Sox to rally and walk off the Giants. And this was in the play before Kisner missed home plate with his foot. So it turns out I was not talking about Barracoto. And in fact, Barracoto had actually not even been in the game at the MO because he had bruised a bone in his knee because a Red Sox fan was doing something he shouldn't have been doing and then couldn't even do that right. I meant Oslavis Basabe is what I meant,
Barracoto, Basabe, tomato, potato.
Exactly. Well, okay, first of all, same number of syllables and they both start with the same letter.
Understandable. Yeah.
Okay, 3 and 4 are almost the same number of syllables.
Close enough.
It's close. Yeah, close enough. All right. So for those of you who were like just totally confused, I meant Oslavis Basabe. For those of you who are with me, God bless you. All right, Matthew, it's time for you to just do it. Do it.
Well, this is where we usually talk about injuries, and there were a lot of them. We learned a little bit more from the injuries from the Boston series. First, Whisenhunt on Monday left the game early, and it turns out he tore his UCL and now needs Tommy John surgery. Good old Carson.
That sucks because
we're down to just one Carson now, Ben.
We've just got one Carson. And that sucks because he's the first guy who needs Tommy John surgery and he can't get it.
That's true. I mean, after Tommy John passed away, who's going to do it?
He can't perform the surgeries anymore. So
I nominate it to be the Ben Henry from now on.
God,
and you perform the surgery.
Nobody wants that. No.
All you got to do is watch Javi Lopez talk about it. Was it Javi? I don't know. I saw it on the Giants postgame show the other day. I can't remember which Giants pitcher was talking about it, but went into great detail about how they take a tendon, no, a ligament, no, a tendon from your hamstring or something, and then they use it to create a new ligament in your elbow.
Yeah, they used to use dead people's material, dead people's tendons or ligaments or whatever.
But that's just gross.
Yeah. Do you know some people have pig bone put in their faces?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't need to know that.
It's when you need to replace bone in their jaw.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Adames also, we learned, has a partial tear to a ligament in his left non-throwing elbow. So just, like neuritis on steroids.
Right. So Wisenhunt's neuritis blew up.
Yes.
And Adames's just partially blew up.
That's right. And so surgery is being discussed, which is weird. Like they're talking about how like they could do like this platelet enrichment process and all this other thing, get him back on the field. And I'm like, why? Why are we talking about Willy Adames coming back this year?
I mean, I get it because he wants to, but like that seems like the only reason. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here. Like, just get him back so he's got back, but he's hurt, and he's got a bad back, and he's got a bad elbow. And so the fans just watch him just perform not well for the last couple of weeks of a miserable season. Like, why? What are you going to sell, like 3 more tickets? Like, this seems ludicrous. Just hang him up for the year. Be glad that you're not a pitcher and you throw with your right hand.
I think it's cute that you think there are 3 fans out there that are buying tickets because of Willy Adames.
I mean, maybe he's given away all of his free ones and he has to buy 3 for friends. I don't know.
Okay, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
JT Brubaker was placed on the IL with a bruised ribs.
Yeah, you grabbed those ribs real hard, dude.
He said the junk was fine.
He did say it was fine, which was what apparently Vitello was most concerned about.
Not that they didn't check in on the ribs, and the ribs apparently were not fine.
Yeah, well, he talked to the trainer about the ribs, and then interestingly enough, he stayed in the game, but now he goes on the IL.
Yeah. Well, adrenaline, all that sort of stuff. And the next day you're like, oh, maybe that hurt.
That really sucked because we could have used him on a certain day.
Yeah, we could have. Anyway, on Tuesday, Hauser D's bullpens. Hauser D's nuts became Hauser D's forearm tightnesses and left the game with, I'm assuming, forearm neuritis.
Isn't the near elbow in your... Okay, whatever.
I don't. I'm just like saying neuritis.
So do the Giants.
Apparently, he had a similar injury early in his career, which was a flexor strain in his forearm, and recovered in a couple months. So his season is probably done as well. And then finally, Bryce Eldridge, sadly, his grandfather passed away, and he was placed on the bereavement list and missed the Cincinnati series. He'll be back, though, for Friday's game.
Thursday's game.
That's right. It's a 4-game series. No, it's a 4-game series.
4-game series.
Over 3 days. This is confusing me that they're doing that. Okay, yeah.
3 days, and they did that because of the Atlanta game.
That's right. Okay. The bereavement list, though, I'm thinking of going on the bereavement list myself.
I'm already on it.
Did you have to get permission from HR?
I don't. Yes. I said, hey, HR, this is Ben. And then they said, oh, yeah, my name's Ben, too. And I said, Ben, I need to go on the bereavement list. And I said, well, since you're you and I'm me and we're each other, approved.
It's really simple when it's that way, isn't it?
It is simple when it is that way.
Well, when things get messed up, then you got to bring other people in to cover up. And so there were some call-ups that got brought up. One was Anthony Molina, who was acquired in the Tyler Mahle trade.
That was the why not trade, right?
That was the why not trade. And he actually pitched very well in his Giants debut. Picked up the win on Tuesday. And then Ryan Walker also recalled, which he kind of looks like he's learned a few things. They said on the broadcast that he's picked up a 4-seamer as well. and that will help him give the batters more looks. So I'm hoping that makes a difference. Grant McCrae was also brought up. Shay Whitcomb, who would have been the star of Wednesday's game.
Shay, the Babe Whitcomb, you mean?
Yes, exactly. Former space cowboy, but some people call him Maurice.
Wow.
And then Spencer Bivens, sadly, was also called.
More on him later.
Yes, more on him later. And then we learned that reliever Braxton Roxby was added to the 40-man and then called up. Yes, that's really his name, Braxton Roxby.
Sadly, we didn't see any of Braxton Roxby on Wednesday.
Would have been a good way to just get him started, though, right? Like going into the ninth with a 6-run lead.
Yep.
But anyway, he was acquired in the Taylor Rogers trade. So we are seeing that player play. And then Tugboat was optioned on Monday after Sunday's game, and then inevitably will have to be recalled because we lost Hauser and Whisenhunt.
Well, they were already talking about bringing him back on Saturday when they get their 27th man. So now they're going to need another 27th man.
Yes. Yeah. So there's actually only two other options on our 40-man roster. Philip Abner, who the Giants picked up from the D-Bags on a wire waiver claim a week or two ago. And then Tristan Beck. And I do believe, I want to say that if Tristan Beck gets called up again, that's it. He can't be optioned back down.
Oh, that's right. He hits the limit because of the Savannah Banana guy.
Yeah.
Was it
because of the Farhan? It's the Farhan rule.
It was a Farhan rule. He did somebody got yo-yoed. I think it was a pitcher. And then Matthew, also they're gonna have to find even more guys because the rosters expand on Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't even know who they're gonna bring up. It'll be obviously they want to bring up another pitcher at least. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see who those two players are.
Right.
And then maybe to end on a good note, Ben.
Yeah, let's do it.
All 4 Giants minor league teams have the best overall records in their respective leagues right now.
Oh, good, because I have season tickets to the Flying Squirrels.
You do?
No! I don't give a squirrel's tiny rat. Yay?
Well, maybe the future is bright. I mean, we're going to be old, decrepit men by then, but maybe the future is bright.
Yeah. I will be old and decrepit. You are already old and decrepit. I'm just old.
I was just going to say, I'm just old. I don't know if I'm decrepit. Squad, I'll race you right now.
That's true. Oh, God, no. Ugh. You know what would happen if we went out and raced right now?
You'd pull a hamstring.
Exactly. Immediately. And that was always true. Even when I was 20, okay? So, let's not... What makes me decrepit is look at how gray my beard is compared to yours.
So gray. I got the salt and pepper still. You just got salt.
I got salt and pepper mustache. Oh, that's it. I gotta go with the porn stash.
Please don't.
Yeah, time to move on. It's time to talk about the Red Series. And the first important note, this is a reminder to Matthew and I. Not to you, listener. This is a reminder to Matthew and I.
Okay.
Don't let recency bias ruin a good story. The Giants won this series on the backs of great baseball played by a lot of journeyman minor leaguers who are taking advantage of the shots that really nobody thought they would get, because this was not the Giants' second choice or third choice. In some of these cases, I think these guys are like the fourth and fifth choices, given everything that has happened. And I think an overarching theme here that we haven't really called out directly, but should, is that the Giants, after being bad at the beginning of the season and then selling at the trade deadline, now they've been hit by this horrible, horrible injury bug. And all I can say is, I feel like it's almost a blessing that if this is happening, at least it's happening when the team was bad, because this would have destroyed the team. This would have ruined their playoff chances. What's happening to them right now? It's catastrophic. But nonetheless, all of those guys, for all 27 innings of these baseball games, played great baseball. Right? Like the Trent Harrises, the Turner Hills, the
Shay Whitcombs.
The Shay Whitcombs, the Nate Furmans, who played some excellent defense along with his major league debut hit. And no, listener, I'm not forgetting that I've made a lot of fun of him, and I basically used his name as a place filler for a lack of a player. But good for him for proving me wrong. It's not that hard to do. It's not hard to prove me wrong.
No.
But still, see, there I am. I'm diminishing him again. No, he played well, as did they all, Matthew, starting in game 1.
Yeah.
Which you had problems with the lineup.
I don't know if I had problems. It's jarring when you see a guy that wasn't even on our radar a month ago, nay 2 weeks ago, nay 10 days ago, batting cleanup for your team in Turner Hill. And I will say, he actually looked pretty good. So I'm not diminishing him at all. In fact, I think he's becoming one of my favorite players. I love this guy. But it is a little weird to see a lineup where you go Gilbert, Devers, Lee, and you're like, okay. And then Hill, then Kavanaugh, Furman, Whitcomb, McCray, Koss. And then you're like, oh man, and that's not even the most bizarre lineup of the series. We'll get to that because you have to save that for another segment. But it's one of those where you're like, of course we're gonna lose 100 games.
No, we can put game 3 into the segment. It's just the 9th inning goes into segment 2. It's just the 9th inning is segment 2. Okay, all of the other 26 innings, segment 1. Okay. So you can talk about that lineup because that lineup, yes, it was arguably the worst lineup of the series.
Yeah. Well, when I looked at it, I even took a screenshot and sent it to you because I was like, Jonah Cox, Rafael Devers. Okay, Rafael Devers. Oslevis Basabe, Buddy Kennedy, Turner Hill, Andrew Kisner, Christian Koss, Grant McCray, and Shay Whitcomb. Like, outside of Rafael Devers, like, I named it. It was Rafael Devers and his merry band of misfits. That was the lineup.
Right. Yeah. Hence the Darryl Strawberry reference. Folks, when we start the show, we banter back and forth about what the openings of the show could be. And while Matthew and I were watching Game 3 unfold in real time before us, one of the ideas that we floated was that I would sing the praises of one's Whitcomb and Kennedy and Furman, and then ask Matthew, hey, who's this Rafael Devers guy? Because he was literally the only guy there that you recognize. I will also say this. If you're like, well, I know who Basabe is. I know who Kavanaugh is. I know who Kennedy is. Folks, that's what they mean by boiling the frog. You're the frog and you got boiled. Okay. So if you're just like, oh yeah, Basabe, Kavanaugh, sure, yeah, whatever. Yeah. You got boiled.
Yeah, the water was getting hot and you didn't notice.
Yeah, you didn't notice it. It just kept getting hotter and hotter, and you're like, this is fine. This is normal. Yeah. So because if you compare that to what was supposed to be the opening day roster, it was stunning. And yet, what was really stark to me, Matthew, was especially in Game 1, how the Giants just came out against a very good pitcher, at least this year, having a fantastic year.
Yeah.
Just all over him. Here's the thing. Tennessee grad.
Yes, I was wondering about that. Well, Drew Gilbert had to have faced him in batting practice or something, right? I mean, he's standing behind him in center field, knows where his pitches are going. Well, somehow. The
whole series just made me wonder, do the Giants have something on the Reds? Or, this is just hopeful, Ben. This is the proof that, folks, that underneath the crusty, cynical facade, I'm actually an optimist. I'm thinking maybe the Giants have finally figured this out. Like maybe they have something on the Reds. And not because they have something on the Reds, but because the Giants analytics team and the Giants baseball team, the coaches, and then also the players, they're all on the same book and they found something. Right? Like maybe somebody was tipping their pitches, or maybe they just knew they had a really good game plan and they finally executed on it. I hope it's one of those things. But whatever it was, they were all over. Was it Chase Burns? Is that who it was? Or
Chase Burns, yes.
Yeah, Chase Burns. And then, and not just for one inning, which is what we sometimes see, but for 2 innings, like just knocked him out of the game.
Yeah.
And I was going to say it just kept coming, but it did just stop. It just came to a cold stop. So maybe it was Burns that they had. But nonetheless, like on the flip side, after Whisenhunt goes down, the bullpen comes in and does an excellent, excellent job. Now, they may have been robbing Peter to pay Paul, right?
Yeah, they definitely had to dip into the well a lot this weekend.
Yeah, they did. And that does kind of just explain how they got to where they were today as we record this podcast in the 9th inning. When one guy just didn't have it. And then there wasn't enough arms in the bullpen to get them out of that problem. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So that was really exciting to watch. And I do want to kind of just go over, like, so Turner Hill was 4 for 10 during this series with an RBI, and he also had 2 walks. So he was batting .400 with a .500 on base percentage, a .600 slugging percentage for an OPS of 1100. Drew Cavanaugh was 4 for 8, and Drew Gilbert, of course, had a great series, was 4 for 9. Christian Koss was 3 for 9. And a lot of these guys also had key walks. Jonah Cox had a great series and had the home run today, which is like not something that I think of. The thing they said about Jonah Cox, Matthew, was he's fast and he has a last name that's going to make it really hard for Ben to not make fun of. Like, those were the 2 things that I knew about Jonah Cox. And also, he hits bombs.
He does. He has recently, which is, if he can keep doing that, then there's a lot of value there. Getting back to Turner Hill, he hit a couple of rockets off of the right field wall there, and it got me thinking. Like in Boston, we saw guys just pepper the green monster, right? And it's like an automatic double when they do that, and you don't see that like at Oracle much, where they're just hitting it off the wall like that.
I mean, part of me is like, because the Giants don't build around it. The other part of it is just because Oracle's, she's a crusty beach ball. She's like, there's only a few left-handed hitters I like, and you aren't one of them. I think part of it is that wall juts out real quick. Right, yeah. It goes from 307 to triples alley in a lickety split. That's
true. It's not a fully facing the batter like the green monster is.
Exactly.
It's running away from it pretty quickly. But I didn't mind. I am really impressed with Turner Hill's at bats. Just seems to really see every pitch very well. Puts good swings on the ball. They kept talking on. I was switching back and forth a lot this weekend between the radio and TV, so I don't really remember like exactly who said it, but they were really talking a lot about his ability to come off the bench and how he could be a real good asset, because his type of swing, he could be cold and still come in and hit. I think it was Kruko that was talking about that. So I like him, and I think he could be a good, valuable, maybe bench piece, if not more, going into next year. I like him.
Me too. I really love those 27-year-old rookies.
Yeah, I know you do. I know. Mm-hmm. We haven't even mentioned that Rafael Devers hit a home run in every game.
Well, I was going to say, after I was singing the praises of Larry, Gary, and who, I thought I was going to say, and there's this Rafael Devers guy.
Well, Trent Harris, no, Turner Hill. So you're getting me doing it now. Turner Hill's hitting balls off the wall. Rafael Devers is like, I'll just hit him over the wall. It's just, hold my beer, folks. And,
exactly.
And man, when he puts a swing, he swings so violently hard. It is It's really scary to see that swing. I would love to see more of that, to be honest.
There's no reason that we won't. Oh, unless he only faces left-handed hitters. Pitcher, sorry.
It is his 16th. He hit his 16th. No, now his 17th home run at Oracle after today, which is the most since Barry Bonds at Oracle in any one year. He also hit his 49th home run in 223 games, which is the second fastest to 223 behind Barry Bonds, besting Willie Mays by 1 home run. So some pretty great names that he's being involved with there. And it's almost makes you forget how bad he was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also like how bad he was at the beginning of the season, but it also says that, the reason it's even more puts a microscope on that. Those are his first 222 games as a Giant, right? He's the fastest to hit that many home runs. I think it exemplifies what kind of a tear he can go on, right? When Rafael Devers is hot, he's hot. That's the other thing about baseball, though, right? It is like, everybody gets caught up in these cumulative stats, or like, his season batting average, his quantity of home runs, his, he hits this, his slash line is that. But it also matters when you do it, right? Like, I don't know if this still holds true, but the Giants are like 20th in runs scored. At least they were like a couple weeks ago. But they were dead last in the number of games where they scored more than 4 runs. So it's really hard to win when you're scoring less than 4 runs, right? And so the point is that like the Giants just are really, really bad this year at spreading that out. And so the problem wasn't just that Rafael Devers was bad. The problem was also that Chapman wasn't hitting home runs. Adames was also bad. And all of the other also rans, nobody was doing anything except for Casey Schmidt for a good significant portion of the season in the beginning. And so you weren't getting anything from anybody. It was like you put too much on one guy. And when he goes on hot and cold streaks, when they're cold, the whole team is cold. And that's what happened. But, right, like, because, like, at the end of the season, you're going to look at him and he's going to have, like, 35 to 40 home runs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the rest of the stats will complement that. And as you wrote in here in the show notes, he has 16 home runs at Oracle, which is a lot. Right? and part of that is he has opposite field power. Mm-hmm. But also part of it is just because he's a big bad man. He's a big bad dude.
I do think it's cute though that you think the Giants are 20th in runs scored.
They were at one point, dude. They peaked.
Yeah,
Where
they're
are they
28th in runs scored.
All right, yeah, but they're like 30. They're 30th, and how many times? Okay, it's not as impressive then.
I didn't mean to bring you down, but I was just like, God, we can't be giving the Giants credit for things they haven't earned.
Well, there was a stretch before they went on this horrible stretch of 7 series that lost in a row. There was that stretch when they were beating the Brewers and beating
they were an average, getting to be average offensive team.
They were getting to be average, and so I think that's the last time that I looked at the stats. But the point is that it's not just how many runs you score; it's also when you score them. That still holds true. But yes, you're right, Matthew. The Giants suck.
Maybe this is a good segue into our second segment.
Yes. On that point, it's time to move on to segment 2, which is
the 9th inning.
The 9th inning of Wednesday's game. Now, there's a lot of ways we could approach this, Matthew. We could approach this very practically and talk about explicitly in great detail what happened. We could go all the way to the other side and do it from a philosophical level, which is like, why did God give me such a bad brother that makes things like this happen?
I'm not a fan of that one.
Yeah, no. But I will say this. I feel like I need to call this out because it was something that I think we mentioned in the last episode about a certain individual getting Christian cost.
Yes.
And we were like, where is he? And how come he hasn't played? And that poor guy. And
yeah, you were really questioning, like, what was Spencer Bivens doing?
Yeah, it was me. That's right. It was all me. Yes.
No, all
yes.
right. We both.
Yeah.
We both were like, come on, where's Spencer Bivens? Now we know why he was in AAA this whole season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a nightmare. The other takeaway that I had from that horrible, horrible thing, which I guess we haven't really called out. I'll let you do that. I'm just gonna deal with these 2 points, and then I'm gonna hand it off to you because this one really hurt. It got me. I believed. The 6-run lead in the ninth. Okay, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. Dylan Smith has fully embraced the closer role, Matthew. He has fully embraced it because he did the Giants closer thing, which is like, oh crap, I got to go into the game. And then because he's not mentally there, because it wasn't a save situation and he's checked out, he sucks. Like he comes in and he sucks balls.
Well, not only did he suck, his velocity was down like 3 or 4 miles per hour.
Well, I wonder why that happened.
Yeah, when you keep running the guy out there for multiple innings,
right.
Maybe.
Which is like, I think that's, again, like multiple inning thing. Mm-hmm. I know it's you, Tingler.
Well, and again, I mean, Bivens, and maybe I know that you're not willing to give Tingler any grace on anything, but when you have a 6-run lead and you just want to get through the ninth, maybe it's okay to be like, all right, Bivens, you're going to go and not only pitch the eighth, you're going to pitch the ninth.
I think that's okay. Yes, I think that's okay. I think you do have to be ready for it to blow up in your face. I was a little bit drunk when I went on my, like, I don't like the whole 2-inning thing rant in the last episode. But as I was watching that, I was like, wow, drunk Ben sometimes knows what he's talking about. So I still don't like it. But I don't, you can't fault them for it. Like that's a winnable game. That's a winnable game no matter who's out there on the mound, no matter what's happened before that. Like Bivens should have been able to take care of business. And so should have Smith. That being said, Matthew, what happened exactly?
It all happened so fast. You know, I too was believing. That was the moment when I switched from TV to radio because I had to go pick up my daughter after school. And I got a little distracted. The next thing I know, they'd scored a run and there were a couple runners on base and I wasn't quite sure why. And so then I had to lock in and I'm like, wait, what happened? And I got figured out that the leadoff home run. I have no explanation for a once in a lifetime. Once in like several lifetimes.
2 lifetimes. 125 years, Matthew, and they ran out of data.
Goes back to 1901.
Yeah, it's one of the, and to be clear, they went all the way back to 1901, and they were like, "That's it, we're out of games." Like it wasn't like they found one that was worse. This could be the worst 9th inning blown loss in Giants history.
No, so we could sit here and try and like make sense of it, but it doesn't make sense.
Oh, I think it makes perfect sense. This is the 2026 Giants.
Well, that's the only explanation.
Like, this is the universe, I think, laughing at Buster Posey.
Yeah, I think the universe and Farhan Zaidi are laughing at Buster Posey.
Oh, well, I mean, Farhan definitely is laughing at Buster Posey.
Yeah, y'all thought it was so easy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, just sign the good players and sit back and let the wins roll in. Right? That's how it works, right? Just sign the good guys. Just spend the money. No, you also got to spend the money on the mediocre guys. That's the trick. You got to spend the money on the good guys and more of them, like the Dodgers. And then you got to spend all the money on the mediocre guys. And then you also have to develop players. in your minor leagues. You have to do all of those things, and you have to be good at all of them. The record's still out on what Buster's regime is going to do with player development. But signing the great veteran players and letting them play ball and getting out of their way certainly hasn't worked. Not signing the mediocre players and putting them in middle relief has now reared its ugly, ugly head. There is no formula. There is no easy way. It's all hard work. It's always like scraping and grinding. And I think that the lack of doing that, especially during the off season of 2026, especially for the bullpen, and especially, I think, for just overall, even pitching depth in general, has, I think, now just totally bitten the Giants in the behind. And this loss doesn't matter. They won the series. They were this game doesn't matter to the Reds or the Giants.
It matters.
Exactly. This game matters more than possibly any other game in the season.
Ben, the last Giants team to go an entire season without sweeping a series was 1915 Giants. We are now looking at things that haven't been done in over 100+ years. And that is an indication of just how bad it is. And I know every time something like this happens, it just reinforces how bad this team is and how bad the decisions that have been made to get to this point have been. And nobody can run from it because it's smacking you right in the face over and over and over and over again.
Boy, I've been there. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, and it's a lack of experience. Like, that's what this is. It's just like, and it just brings home the fact that the Giants have so much inexperience.
They're lacking in experience, but they're not lacking in hubris.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, lack of experience at the managerial and coaching level. Some of the experience that they do have is just bad. I'm talking about Tingler. That's the second time the Giants have challenged a slide at second base. It's just sort of like, what are you doing? And that pretty much proves to me that it was Tingler who was responsible for the last one. And yes, this is all Tingler's fault. Sorry. No, we're not going to. No, it's not. That's not. We're not doing a Tingler here. It's not Tingler. But lack of experience at the coaching staff level, lack of experience now on the major league squad. Lack of experience at the front office level, and lack of experience at the ownership level, right? Just up and down this entire organization, it's a bunch of yahoos who don't know what they're doing. And the question is like, what do? Do you stick it out with these guys and wait for them to get experienced? Because, that is how you get experience, right? By doing it.
Yeah. Well, yes, but there's also so many growing pains with that, and we're having to suffer through it.
Yeah, that sucks. All right, well, I can't wait to see what happens next. That's a joke. I can wait, but we're not gonna, because it starts tomorrow. Matthew, the Giants are taking on our division rival, the playoff contending, world famous dollar store douchebags, whom the Giants are 1-8 against this year. So what I'm saying is, folks, we got a chance.
Well, they haven't faced this Giants team, Ben.
No, they haven't. Nobody has, really. I mean, I guess except the Cincinnati Reds, and they didn't like it. They didn't like it at all. Although they did like Spencer Bivens. They were like, the Spencer Bivens guy's all right. But other than that, the Cincinnati Reds were like, don't like those guys. Especially that Drew Gilbert guy who they're trying to hit because Eric Miller? I don't know.
Yeah, what was that about?
Nobody knows. I mean, they were like, hey, I hear a lot of guys don't like this Drew Gilbert guy. Let's hit him. I don't know. And they lost that game, the stupid Reds, because Drew Gilbert scored. But anyway, so the Giants are taking on the douchebags, who are fighting for the third wildcard spot. And it's going to be Landon Roop, Tidwell, and TBD. It's remarkable to note that Landon Roop and Tidwell are both still uninjured, knock on wood, and TBD is also not injured. Merrill Kelly, why is this? How old is this dude?
I don't know, but according to MLB's probable page, he's pitching both games of the doubleheader.
Merrill Kelly's pitching both games. That seems about right.
I think it's a good strategy for the Diamondbacks at this point.
The douchebags are like, yeah, let's just get out the main one. Let's get out the giant killer. So it's a 4-game series, but they're playing 2 games on Saturday. Game 2 is the Jeff Kent number retirement game.
That's right. And I think the earlier game is the Jung Hoo Lee bobblehead game.
Oh no, that one's going to be the one that's sold out. So that's interesting because the tickets for the night game they're offering it's BOGO.
Oh,
it's BOGO.
Oh no, poor Jeff Kent.
Yeah, Jeff Kent is getting BOGO'd. Meanwhile, I'm sure the day game with the bobbleheads is getting sold out. By the way, folks, in case you're wondering, yes, I have paid 1,000 people to get 1,000 Jung Hoo Lee bobbleheads. And am I going to hold on to them forever and not let them out on the market? Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
No, I would never do such a thing. I would definitely scalp them.
I would buy one.
Yeah, you would. You would buy one. I'd sell them on the Giant Cocktails website, which we don't. Well, we do have. We do have a Giants Cocktail website. We don't sell merch there, though. Bob!
Not yet, anyway.
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Yes.
Oh,
yes. It is.
Yes, it is, Bob. That's right. That's my line. Yes.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Well, thank you for asking, Bob. That's very kind of you, Bob. Today, I am drinking a cocktail that I'm calling Bitter Memory. Why? Because the Giants are in the memory-making business, and they made a lifelong one for me today. And I made this cocktail to commemorate it. What's in it? Well, thank you for asking. Originally, it had 2 ounces of gin, but on a whim, I added a third. And I think that was the right call. It was really the right call. I added a 1/3 ounce of gin. To that, I added half an ounce. Oh, it was a 1/4 ounce of Cointreau, but you can do half an ounce if you want. And I had half an ounce of Campari. Now that I think about it, this is almost 2 cocktails that I made into one, which explains how I feel right now. Whatever. Go with it. Yeah, that's right. You heard me. Campari. I had an unopened bottle in my bar, dude.
You were preparing for another round of bets, and then we called off the Campari bets.
That's probably what it was. I knew this day was coming, though. I mean, it's baseball. It's cyclical.
Yes.
Well, anyway, so you put all of that into a mixing glass with ice. You're going to stir that until it is well chilled. You can also add a little bit of simple syrup to this if you want. I did. I added a 1/4 teaspoon of rich simple syrup, but that's totally optional. That's why the Cointreau is there, and that's why the Campari is there, for that matter, if you like it. So if you like a more bitter cocktail, don't do that. Anyway, you're going to strain all of that into a rocks glass over a single chunk of large craft ice, and then you're going to put an orange twist on it. And I also added 4 cherries because I'm me. And that's what I'm drinking today, Bob. The Bitter Memory.
That's a tasty cocktail.
Bob, I kind of, I feel bad saying it, but it was actually pretty good. Yeah, it was good.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I first want to apologize for my very in poor taste joke about Dolly Parton, because in this household, we actually were very saddened to hear of the passing of Dolly Parton for a couple of reasons. One is that my fiance is co-chairing a fundraiser on Saturday to benefit the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And there's going to be a Dolly Parton impersonator there. There's going to be cocktails by yours truly. And we are all about Dolly this week. And then unfortunately, she passed away right before. And so we were very saddened and very like, okay, now how do we deal with this at the fundraiser? And we decided that we were going to celebrate Dolly. And so I have made a cocktail in her name. So what's in a Dollyrita? Well, it's got a split of Blanco tequila and Reposado tequila, 3/4 ounces of each. And honestly, the reason it's split is because we got donated a bunch of Blanco and a bunch of Reposado, but not enough for like different cocktails, so I split them. If you only got one of them, then use it. But a split is actually really nice. 1/2 ounce of Grand Marnier, 3/4 ounces of lime juice, and then the star of the show is a 1/2 ounce of strawberry and black pepper syrup. And you're just going to take some strawberries and sugar and macerate the strawberries and get a syrup out of it. And then when you strain that, you're going to throw some cracked black pepper in there, maybe like 1/2 teaspoon or whatever, and let it sit for a few hours and then strain that out. And you have this really nice syrup that gives you a little bit of heat on the back end, but it doesn't really taste like pepper. It's really nice. So, and then 3 drops of saline, 20% saline solution as well, or a small pinch of salt, whatever you want to do. Anyway, shake all those ingredients with ice until it's well chilled. Strain it into a rocks glass with fresh ice, and you're going to garnish it with a lime wheel or maybe a strawberry slice. And then you're going to sit back and toast one to the late, great Dolly Parton, and maybe make a donation to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library of Sonoma County. And that's, oh, wait, no, I forgot the...
That's a tasty cocktail.
Actually, it really is, and I'm excited to present it at the fundraiser. And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for joining us. We will be back on Monday with more Giants content. Yes, Monday, even though the games end on Saturday. Ben and I have things to do, and so we're going to talk about it on Sunday and release it on Monday as usual. If you can't wait that long, though, feel free to reach out to us on the socials or leave us a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify. A 5-star review is always appreciated. Ben, it was great talking Giants with you. Until next time, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, Matthew. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye, Dolly. We love you.
Thanks for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. The next round's on me.
When do we play that Braves game?
We play that Braves game on August 31st, Matthew.
So after this series, we play it.
Correct.
Okay. So Monday, our last chance to sweep.
Our last chance, Matthew? We have...
Come on.
Yeah. No, I hear it. I understand. Yeah, it is. Yes. It is our last chance to get a series sweep. Yes, on Monday, August 31st against the Braves. Why? Oh, God.
And you do know that the Giants know this as well because they swapped Webb and Roop's line to start so that Webb could start on Wednesday today to try and get this sweep, and then he will start on Monday to try and get that sweep.
Wow. That tells you, you know what? Buster, Mr. Johnson, because I can't even remember you and your dad's names. I don't even care. Tony, Jace. I hope you all feel absolutely miserable. This sucks.
Subscribe now because you'll forget when you're hungover.